If you're stuck asking, why is this happening? Stay tuned because in this video, I'll take you from the why me to an alternative and give you 3 steps that will help you to shift out of that bad feeling place into a better feeling place. Hi, I'm Kate Varness, clarity coach for busy women. And I know that sometimes things can happen in our lives or accumulate and leaves us asking why. Why is this happening to me? Why couldn't it be different? All of those questions that can get us stuck into a why loop. And if you're stuck in that why loop, my first step for you is to ask yourself a very important question. Then that is, what will I gain by knowing the answer to why? I have a couple of ideas. The first is that maybe having more information about why will protect you from having this happen in the future. It could be that identifying someone or something to blame is the reason that you want that information. I suspect that we get stuck in the why loop because we want to feel control in an uncontrollable universe. It makes sense that we would take that approach, doesn't it? Feeling some control, even if part of us knows that it's an illusion, is better than orbiting in existential chaos. That the idea that there is nothing that's within our control. It's pretty threatening to the sense of safety. But the problem with this quest for control is that it often becomes the road to madness because the quest never ends. You're constantly seeking the answer to why, and the answer can be so unsatisfying. So, my suggestion for you today is that you can refocus your search for control why into something that feels better, that I'm calling the wonder filled why. That's wonder filled why. Wonder is born from curiosity and exploration. It's a totally different vibe, and it involves more noticing and less forcing an answer. So let me give you a couple of examples that contrast the search for control why versus the wonder filled why. So instead of, why can't I sleep? It's, I wonder why I sleep better on weekends or with a noise machine on or whatever the question, whatever that noticing information might bring to you. Here's another one. Instead of, why am I sick again? It's, I wonder why my body keeps forcing me to slow down. Can you hear the difference between the outcomes that you might get from that first question that's trying to find the answer so you can control or whatever, to the second one that really is open to the idea there might be information that you can see that is beyond what you can imagine. But you're seeing it from that different perspective. So it's different. Your outcome of that knowledge is going to be different when you're open to wonder than when you're gathering from this sense of mental pressure to know. Does that make sense? So that's one thing, right? That's the shift that I'm offering to you today. But the question is, okay, if you're stuck in the cycle of why, how do you shift into something different? So here's the beauty. I've got 3 steps for you to get you out of that stuck place and available for that wonder-filled why. The first step is using the HALT check-in to determine if you're under resourced right now. So HALT is an acronym. It's a handy acronym that you can use to remember these 4 words: hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. That means you can ask yourself, right now, am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? And if the answer is yes to any one of those, then address that so that you can handle whatever it is that's coming at you from a more replenished state. Now, after asking the halt question, I want to give you something to refocus your mind on when the urges to ask why, to kind of get stuck in that habit again of feeling the pressure to know. So repeat this phrase: it's okay for me to not know right now. Let me say that again. It's okay for me to not know right now. By saying those words, you're going to redirect your nervous system away from survival mode and into the possibility of being calm. You're not trying to force something. You're simply repeating the phrase. And notice that this step of reprogramming or saying things in a different way, in a different phrase, came after addressing the actual needs of your body. Because sometimes we can jump into and create stories about things that are simply because we're hangry or we haven't gotten enough sleep, right? So address that first to give your nervous system the possibility of being able to redirect from a mental standpoint. Okay, so we've got step one, which is the halt question. Step two, which is the phrase, it's okay for me to not know right now. And that brings us to step three, which really is disrupting things. And that is intentionally going to enjoy something that is beautiful or majestic or fun. And you'll know that you've hit the wonder-filled reset button when the little kid in you goes, wow. Here are some ideas I have for you, and I'd love to hear any ideas you have in the comments below. So here's my ideas. The first one is to literally look up videos or photos of something beautiful and majestic, like Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon. Incredible places. It's going to expand your mind into a state of wonder. I guarantee it. The second idea is to hold something and think about all the steps it took to create this object and to bring it into your hands. Wow. Wow. How many people were involved in creating this, gathering the materials, getting it into a store, getting it into your hands. It's really amazing when you think about all the pieces of a puzzle like that. It makes me say, wow, for sure. The last suggestion that I have for you to go into this different way of thinking is to put some headphones on, listen to your favorite music, but pay attention to each of the layers of sound, the instrumentals, the percussion, the different vocals, how they merge together and produce a reaction in you. That's amazing. When you're listening carefully, it's going to put you in a different way of being and make it more possible for you to experience wonder and get out of that stuckness of the why, the controlling why. So now I want you to go back. If you've done those things, go back to that life situation that has you stuck in having to know why. And my guess is you're going to be in a fresh perspective, maybe even one that allows you to see things through the lens of wonder. So I want you to know this uh, video today was inspired by the Human Design Gate 61. And it's transiting in the sun position right now as I'm creating this video. There is so much wisdom and self-discovery available through human design. And that's one of the reasons why I use it in my life coaching with women. It's totally 100% personalized. Each person, each of you have a unique body graph is what it's called. but it's based on your birth date, your birth time, and um, your birthplace. And so then that all comes together with a bunch of other pieces to to create something that is unique to you, a one of a kind design. And knowing that design allows you to see how you're naturally meant to move through life, which is such good information because then you can let go of all the rest of it, the stuff that really isn't aligned with how you're meant to move through life. So if you're curious about what your human design would look like, or you want that freedom of living as yourself, then connect up with me. Let's explore how we could get you to that place together. I've got a link for you to book a discovery call below. I hope that you've gotten something good out of today's video to keep you from feeling stuck and mired in the why, and the control that limits that stuck place, and moving into a wonder-filled why, which will allow you to actually solve the problem in a way that's more congruent and feels so much better.